All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome. If you are new, thank you for joining me today and thank you for waiting patiently. Yes, as you can see, things are a little bit different today. Things are a little bit different today. This is MBG, make no mistake. But yeah, don't feel too distracted. Not much is really going to change. I do need to test a couple of things out though. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Sometimes there'll be chat up here. Maybe there'll be video, but he's saying, not gonna lie, I hate it. Yeah, there's not much I can really do. This is it for now, okay? But if it makes you guys feel better, you know, the actual stream itself is going to go pretty much the same. It's going to go pretty much the same. Although, why? I noticed that okay, there we go. But why? Jump scare. Yeah, MBG jump scare, bro. I noticed that this is only taking up about half the screen, though. I wonder why. Well, it's fine. Who is that WWE demon? That's funny, man. But yeah, for those who are unaware, I just had oral surgery, and yeah, I got like quite a bit going on. So, this is pretty much what I put in place for now. Am I going to be a VTuber? Yeah, I'm a VTuber now, guys. Don't be alarmed. I will say boss is still here, though. Right up in my face. No different. Nothing's changed. But, do I sound better? Yeah, I was really messed up yesterday. I don't know what I was trying to do yesterday, to be honest. But anyway, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, I'm in recovery mode right now. So I hope you guys ultimately do enjoy the stream for as different as it's going to be. But we do have topics to go over and discuss here today. And that's what I was basically trying to say to you is, you know, sure, the format might be different, but the stream is going to be pretty much the same. By the way, I need a little bit of feedback right now. How is the mic sounding? My audio got all messed up yesterday, and I'm trying to get it back on track here. It sounds good. Okay. If the audio is good, then we're good to go. But yeah, we'll see how much pain I end up experiencing today. This takes you back. Yeah, it takes me back too. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. You're saying for someone who just had oral surgery, you sound really good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like right now it's probably because I have painkillers and I think just move my mouth like, you know, a lot better. I was in so much pain last night, man. Like I really couldn't believe how much pain I was in. It like hit me all at once. And yeah, it was just like hard to even move my jaw or open my mouth, but I'm definitely doing better now, and we'll see where it goes. Sim Particle, member for 13 months. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the drugs have fully worn off yet or not. Says, what is this AI MBG? Oh man, that's me. That's just how I look now. I got cosmetic surgery. I got plastic surgery. That's me now. But who did the art? His name is Rick. I have his email link usually in all of my streams or videos. The eyes look weird. It's funny because that's actually like what my eyes look like when I smile. They get all squinty. But anyway, here's what we're going to be talking about today. We have, I mean, I'm a little bit behind, obviously, but Rise of the Ronin reviews are out, so I want to talk about them. A lot of people are seemingly feeling pretty down about Rise of the Ronin. We're also talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. The conversation around the PlayStation 5 Pro has been like pretty insane. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it has been quite wild to see like just how insanely divisive a mid-gen refresh console has. I mean, it's not even officially announced yet, but people are just like, I guess, already coming to their conclusions that this console is going to be complete dog shit. So we'll talk about that. And we also have news about Metal Gear Solid that is actually pretty exciting, in my opinion. So, yeah. Again, I know it's different. I know it's an adjustment, but there's not really anything I can do, unfortunately. All right. So before we get into any of these topics, you guys know the deal, right? Dude, it's so weird. The amount of people, no teeth were saved, bro. I still have most of my teeth, yeah, but I had 2 of my wisdom teeth removed, and I also had 2 other teeth that were already kind of like cracked and broken, removed as well. The recovery is something, let me tell you. Hold on. People will be asking about this until the stream ends. Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I was really like not sure if I like was going to do this or not, but I was like, you know what? Am I crying? Do I sound like I'm crying? No, my nose is probably running a little bit. No, I'm actually just sitting here crying. That's why I'm not on camera. I was like kind of hoping that people wouldn't really notice or care. Digital Foundry was ragging on the PS5 Pro. Yeah. New face reveal at 100K. Yeah, that's a goal. Is this MBG AI? Yeah, this isn't even actually the real MBG. This is an AI program. Am I swollen? Yeah, my face is pretty swollen. The right side of my face in particular is pretty swollen. That's the side that's in the most pain. This takes you back to when I was ranting about the showcases back in 2020. Yeah, like how come people were so okay then, right? Like people were so okay with me not being on camera then, but today they're like, whoa, bro, what is this AI bullshit? And Jake Skew 28 coming in, dropping a membership gift. Jake, thank you so much, my friend. Guys, I got a little surprise for you. If we hit 25, if we hit our goal today, I got a little surprise for you if we hit 25 members. But Jake, thank you so much for that, man. Let me make sure all the oh, there we go. It's still working. All right. Outdated chat room. Yeah. This is just something that I threw up on there. I can put I was going to try to put some video up for certain topics we talk about. Like, I don't know. I don't know if people would want to watch this while we're talking about it, but I have the Road to PS5 where Mark Cerny talks about the PS5 for an hour. I could put that on screen while we talk about the PS5 Pro. But I do want to talk about the PS5 Pro because, man, everybody seems to already hate this console. At least, like, most people seem to hate this console already. And people are really jumping on the fact that Digital Foundry gave their analysis of the specs of the PS5 Pro. And, you know, people are basically like, yeah, this console is just... It's the weirdest thing to me is people are making it sound like the PS5 is a 30 FPS machine. And I guess like there's been this hyperfixation, you know? There's been this kind of hyperfixation on GTA 6 in particular, and like, is it going to run at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro? And people are basically like making it seem like GTA 6 is going to be the ultimate determining factor in whether or not the PS5 Pro is actually going to be worth it or not. You know, if it's actually going to be worth upgrading to. And I think it's a little bit unfair to like kind of place all of that on just one, you know, like on just one single game. I guess it's kind of fair, but Digital Foundry essentially came out and was like, yeah, we don't think the PS5 Pro is going to, you know, allow GTA 6 to run at 60 FPS. And people are really running with this, which is strange to see because it's just Digital Foundry's opinion. Like, Digital Foundry doesn't even know whether or not GTA 6 is going to run at 60 FPS. I think the assumption is it's not, but it's wild, man. Like, it's wild to just see, like, holy shit, people are seriously hating on this console that's not even officially announced or marketed yet. And it is honestly sad to see because it's like, you know, the big thing that I think everybody's missing here, is the fact that it's going to be up to Sony to like give them a chance. You know what I mean? Like, give them a freaking chance to just show the console and show games running on it and show like what it can actually do. This reminds me, like, this is truthfully no different to me than when we go back to 2020 and we see with, you know, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, everybody was hyper fixated on comparing the specs. You know, this is these are the on paper specs of the PS5. These are the on paper specs of the Xbox Series X, and people jumped to conclusions, and they jumped to a lot of conclusions. One of the things I remember people jumping to is that games were not going to be able to run at, you know, like a 4K or a dynamic 4K 60 FPS on the PS5, right? And people were quick to jump on the fact that the Series X on paper was more powerful. And it's just, you know, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people learned very quickly that it turns out that the on-paper specifications didn't really mean that much when it comes to the results we ended up seeing with games. What's up, Corey? Corey, how do you like the new format? Is Hellbound here, by the way? Look, I told you guys earlier that I have a little surprise. It's a little one. I don't want to hype it up, but just a little surprise if we hit 25 members today. I think Hellbound in particular would appreciate it. I know all of you guys would, but I don't know if Hellbound's here or not. But I think he would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's just you think I need to animate it? Yeah, maybe that's the next step. I don't know. MBG is paywalling his stream now. No. Not paywalling anything. But yeah, it's just kind of messed up to me that it's like, people are looking at the specs and they're like, man, this is really disappointing because it's not going to do anything for games. And it's like, well, I do kind of understand that side of it, because on one side it's like, yeah, I guess because we're already getting like 4K resolutions, the next thing that people are going to be focused on is, all right, well, look, I'm already getting higher resolutions. I just want better performance. And that's what's being called into question with the Pro. People are assuming that, well, okay, the PlayStation 5 Pro CPU is pretty weak, or it's not weak, but it's not like that upgraded. It's like a 10% upgrade compared to the base PS5, you know? And so because of that, people are like, well, I guess it's not going to do anything for performance. It's like, well, I don't necessarily think that people are taking into consideration that, dude, like we have like 90% of games on the PS5 are running in 60 FPS performance modes. Corey, you're asking, wait, are you legit removing Boss from the show? No, I'm not removing Boss from the show. I will say there is a little surprise. Again, just a little one related to Boss if we hit the goal today. But no, I'm not removing Boss from the show. And no, this is not a permanent thing, by the way. All right. I probably should have said that earlier. Maybe it's best I say that now that we have, more people here. But no, this is not a permanent thing I'm doing. This is just a temporary thing that I tried to throw together because I do not think I am in an ideal position to be on camera right now. My face is swollen. My jaw kind of hurts, my head feels hot and I don't feel like wearing my hat. So yes, I am sitting here hatless. So you can imagine what that looks like. And yeah, I'm going to have to get, I to be honest, I didn't expect, or I wasn't prepared for how long it would take the swelling to go down. I guess that's my fault for just not really thinking about it. But yeah, this could just be the only stream we do it. It might just be a couple streams. I'm really not entirely sure. It's kind of up to my body, to be honest. The camera's going to turn on accidentally. I'm going to be sitting here. You're just going to see my bald head. Although there is some hair. I haven't shaved my head in a little bit, but do I look like Frank? No, I don't look like Frank. I don't look that bad. Like, to be honest, you guys saw me. I streamed for a little bit yesterday. You guys saw me yesterday. So it's really, like, truthfully, if I went on camera, you guys probably wouldn't notice, but it just feels weird, Like, I feel it. Like, it feels like I got punched in the face like 10 times. But how can we verify the reps? I'm going to have pre-recordings. If we hit 50 members, I'm going to have a pre-recording of me doing a workout. Austin K's member for 9 months says, I'm going to use my membership milestone chat to say thank you, AI MBG, for the entertainment and keep it up. You're welcome. You're welcome, Austin. Thank you for using your milestone chat on that. Am I ill? No, I'm not ill. I'm just swollen and in pain. You're saying PlayStation needs to go all out with a $1,000 machine for enthusiasts? Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. I think what is obvious about what should be obvious about the PS5 Pro, and this is something that I think Sony is going to have to get out ahead of, and I don't know exactly how they'll do it, but if Sony can't do it, then I don't know, maybe we can. And that is just make it known that, like, dude, the PS5 Pro is not going to be some kind of like massive game-changing, console that's going to just revolutionize game development. And this is what I think becomes a little bit frustrating in seeing the reactions from people, is that people continually act like, but I thought that's what it was supposed to be, or I expected more from it. And it's like, Well, listen, there are a couple of things that I think you see people complain about frequently, which is, okay, well, if it's going to be a massive upgrade, then that means it's going to be really expensive. And you automatically see people like I already saw it. I remember when the specs leaked out and we didn't know about the CPU, I saw a lot of people being like, well, this is going to be like an $800, $900, $1,000 console. And it's like, well, probably not, like it's probably going to realistically be like $600, you know? I don't see it being much more expensive than $600. And so because of that, it's like, well, I mean, what are you what are you really expecting at that point? Think it could be 700? I mean, maybe. Corey, you're saying MBG speaks very clearly this early in his toothless adaptation. Thank you, Corey. I'll take the compliment. Like I said, it's not actually me talking. I'm typing everything into an AI program. So wait until you hear what I really sound like. Well, I know you know that's not true. You tuned into my stream for a little bit yesterday, so I know you know that's not true. But yeah, man, it's just like, here's what the PS5 Pro is going to do for $600. Okay, PS5 Pro is going to be a $600 mid-gen refresh console. And what it's going to do is any game that ships with a 60 FPS performance mode, you're going to get much better resolutions, much better image quality in that 60 FPS mode. And if that 60 FPS performance mode happens to run into a couple of issues where like maybe there's a little bit of inconsistency in the performance, the PS5 Pro will be able to brute force it to maintain that 60 FPS. That's what it's going to do. What people, I think, want the PS5 Pro to do is if a game like GTA 6 is truly targeting 30 frames per second on the base PS5, people want it to be able to say, no, this console can easily run GTA 6 now at 60 frames per second. It's not going to do that. And it is CPU limited in that sense. And I guess my only question at this point is how people didn't see this coming. You know what I mean? Like, how did people not see this coming, considering that the likelihood of the CPU changing dramatically, I don't think people kind of realize that would likely alter the course of development for all of these games. You know? It would alter the course. Because one of the things that Sony is trying to ensure here is that when they, give these PS5 Pro dev kits to all these development teams, that it's like, hey, we don't want to interfere and make it more difficult for you. We don't want, you know what I mean? We just want you to worry about the base PS5 version, but we're going to be putting out this new, more powerful console, and we just want you to, basically beef it up a little bit. Whereas if they were to ship a PS5 Pro with a completely new CPU, a much more upgraded CPU, that could potentially change, how development teams are going to, how they're going to view the development of their game, where it's like, well, if we have this much more powerful CPU, like, what else could we do with this world? How much further could we push it? So I guess what this boils down to is people are realizing that the PS5 Pro is just a PS5 that is going to make games look better graphically. That's what it's going to do. And I guess for me, I just don't necessarily feel surprised, because I always anticipated that's exactly what it would do. And that's not a bad thing to me, and this is where it's like, I've seen so many people complain in the past about how, like, man, this game offers a performance mode, but it's only at 1080p or something like that, or the resolution drops too low in some places, and in some areas it looks too blurry. It's like, well, the PS5 Pro will correct that. You buy a Pro, you play that same game, you'll get that 60 FPS, but you'll probably get it at 4K. Maybe even throwing a tad bit of ray tracing in there. That sounds pretty good to me. "60 FPS modes at 4K with super ray tracing. I'll take that." That's the question I have, is the ray tracing, right? Like, how much ray tracing can be added into these performance modes? Again, I keep thinking of a game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because it's like, I think they just put out a new patch for that game, by the way, that has essentially ensured that it'll, if you're playing it in a performance mode, it's going to look a little bit better. I don't know how much better. I haven't tested it out myself. You're saying, again, don't expect 1080 to 4K on the PS5 Pro, maybe 1080 to 1440p. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be more realistic. I just wonder, like, what PSSR is going to be able to do. You know what I mean? Like, I do wonder if the PlayStation Super Spectral Spectral Super Resolution, you do have to wonder how effective that's going to be. Like, will it be effective enough to be able to take, like, uplift some games from 1080p to 4K? Because I think that would be quite significant. But maybe not. Maybe 1080p to 1440p is more realistic, like you're saying. With the adding of PSSR, the games that are already out now and run in fidelity at 30, 40 FPS can look the same and run at 60 because they can downscale the res plus PSSR. Yeah, that's another thing I'm thinking too. Yeah, PSSR will essentially allow developers to, like you're saying, downscale the internal resolution to like 1080p or even 720p, maybe in some extreme circumstances, to where, it'll leave so much overhead that, now you can expect a game that was maybe running, like you're saying, at like 35, 40 frames. Now it could maybe hit 60. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how Sony markets this console, truthfully, because, like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to win people over, and I'm not sure that they should try to win people over. I think the best thing Sony could do at this point, because seeing the way people are reacting to it now, to be honest, it's like there's like a lot of negativity towards the PS5 Pro, where I thought people would have been more understanding of, like, what this console is and how, like, Sony's not trying to strong arm you into buying it. It's just they're going to put it out there for those who were interested. And at least it doesn't seem like they're going to strong arm you into it or try to. And seeing the amount of negativity, it makes me think maybe the best thing Sony could do at this point when it comes to marketing this console is to just essentially, I don't want to say downplay it, because obviously that would be stupid. If you downplay it, people are going to be like, what's the point then? But just try to keep it relatively tame, in that, like, if you want higher resolutions, if you want essentially what could be fidelity mode in performance mode, you know what I mean? Like, then this is the console you're going to want to upgrade to. But I have seen people on the other side as well. I've seen some people who are very excited about the PS5 Pro, pretty much trying to make it seem like this console is going to completely revolutionize game development for the remainder of this generation. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen. And, I've seen a lot of PC people chiming in as well. And dude, people, I don't know what's wrong with people, man. Like, on one side, you got some PlayStation players that are, like, antagonizing PC players, making it sound like the PS5 Pro is going to shit all over PC. And then the PC players get all sensitive and upset, and they're like, no, you're an idiot. You know what you're talking about. And it's just like, dude, who cares? Like, the PS5 Pro is not meant to, in my opinion, the PS5 Pro is not meant to take on PC. The console is not meant at this point in time to take on PC. I don't believe that. Like, I think it's pretty clear at this point that if you want the absolute best that money can buy you, you go to PC to get that. And you have to put in a little bit of extra effort to make that happen. Right? To me, the console that is going to be the PS5 Pro is, again, it's not meant to take on the PC. It's just meant, I think it's, if anything, it's just meant to appeal to the current PS5 owner. You know, that to me is what it's about. Not about trying to convince PC players like, hey, our console's better than your PC build. I just don't think it's about that. And if it does turn out to be that way, well, again, that's going to have to come in the form of Sony showing. They're going to have to show that and convince people. Our console is better. Saying yes, but the PS5 is still very, very compatible to PC performance. Or maybe you said comparable when you program right. The machine is not weak, but it needs to be developed like a console should. No more brute forcing games. Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see how devs optimize for the PS5 Pro. Because I think that's another thing, too, that people are not necessarily factoring in here. You know? Where it's like, it's easy to look at the specs and say, yeah, that's pretty disappointing, maybe, just, you know, for some people. But you're also just not factoring, well, you know, what if developers actually try? You know what I mean? Like, what if they do try to optimize some of their games for this console? What could we expect? And I think by that point, you know, people, again, I think this is just where we have to wait and see before we can truly judge it. And we have Corey, the legend Landiga, not letting this abrupt change in format stop him from doling out a 10 bomb for you guys. Corey drops 10 memberships in the chat. Let me see if my sound bites are working here.
Say hello to democracy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Corey, thank you so much for that, man. Corey just brought us up to 11 members on the day. Let me add that to the counter here. Let's see if we can end up hitting 25. If we can hit 25, I got just a little tiny surprise for you guys. Nothing major, but I'm hoping at some point we can hit 25 today, because I would like to show, like, I want to show you guys what it is. It's pretty, like, I think it's pretty funny. The new chat can't show the W's. Damn. All right, hold on. Yeah, this chat box, I don't think this chat box is working very well. What do you guys think of it? I just want some feedback really quick, because I'm thinking about replacing the chat box with some kind of video to put up on screen. PlayStation Pete, you're saying I'm buying a PS5 Pro, Rise of the Ronin, 6 out of 10, 76 Metacritic. If Stellar Blade scores low, I will wait for MGS3 Delta. Irfin says he wants Mark Cerny. I mean, I'm going to buy the PS5 Pro. It sounds pretty good to me, you know? Like, I guess maybe it's just my expectations, but Rise of the Ronin, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that soon. Here, let me I'm going to bring this up. Actually, hold on a second. I'm kind of confused because I'm going to make this disappear for a second. I'll let this play for a little bit. You guys tell me if you like this better. Also, I need to make sure that it's not... Okay, the audio isn't coming through. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Stellar Blade ends up reviewing. I do have some things I want to say about Rise of the Ronin. Jake, you're off to work. Have a good day, man. I got kidnapped by the dentist and replaced with an AI. There you go. Yeah. Not the old video again. Yeah, I don't. You guys let me know if you like this better, if you like the chat box better. Yeah, this is generated by Sora. There you go, man. There you go. Cool, you're saying you're going to get the Pro for Metal Gear Solid Delta 2. Yeah, I hope Konami actually optimizes the game for it. We got Josh here with a super chat. Thank you for that, man. You're saying, I don't know why people think Xbox Next Gen is in 2026 is a good idea. Most games they announced 5 years ago aren't even out. 2 failed generations in a row, and the answer is to start a new one early. Not smart, in my opinion. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Josh. I kind of get that feeling too a little bit from people where there's like kind of this. It's really strange to me that there seems to be less animosity towards Microsoft potentially kickstarting another generation as soon as 2026. There's less animosity towards that on the internet than there is towards a PS5 Pro, which is just a mid-gen refresh. That's just basically I would say a mid-size upgrade. Like a medium upgrade for those who want it. It's so weird to me because I can understand from Microsoft's perspective, like why you would want to kick off the generation as soon as 2026, because this generation has completely failed. The Xbox One generation failed. This generation failed. And I guess maybe their line of thinking is if we can kind of do another round of Xbox 360, kind of get out ahead of Sony, and we have a bunch of games maybe ready by then. I can understand that logic, but I'm just surprised that everybody seems to be so okay with that, where it's like, yeah, who cares? That's weird to me. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like the absolute earliest would be 2027. I think if Microsoft actually does next gen by 2026, that's insane. Like, to me, that would truly be insane. So I'm kind of right there with you, Josh. And you also say, who in the right mind would go and buy that? I mean, that's the thing, dude. I feel like you would have to be a real Xbox enthusiast. But I don't know. Maybe the way Microsoft is looking at it is, if Sony is in a way stuck with the PS5 Pro, right? Sony's stuck with the PS5 Pro in 2026, knowing that they're not doing next gen for another 2 years. Maybe Microsoft feels that they can just kind of create a narrative, and I wouldn't underestimate that. See, that's the crazy shit about it is, I mean, to us, we look at that and we're like, how would anybody be okay with that? But it's about the narrative that they're allowed to create. If Microsoft can weave a narrative that's like, all right, guys, we're kicking off next gen nice and early, and we're going to be doing it alone. We're not going to have any competition. It's like, it could work. I think it really just depends on their timing and their terminology, how they word it, but also what games they have ready. But we don't know where they're going to be at that point, when it comes to like their third party support or like them bringing their games to PS5. It'll be interesting, man. I'm really curious to see how this all plays out. PlayStation Pete with another super chat saying, I'm still playing FG7, like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I feel like playing Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus, even though I got the platinum. Yeah, I can honestly say that I'm not going to be playing Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus. I like never go back and play games that get New Game Plus updates, but it might be worth it. I mean, if you enjoyed the game enough, I would say, yeah, go back and play New Game Plus on Spider-Man 2. Can't hurt, right? Worst case, you play it for a little bit and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm good. But you're saying you're still playing Rebirth as well, so maybe finish Rebirth and then move on to Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus. Or maybe you could try playing both at once. The real question, PlayStation Pete, is are you going to be trying to get the Platinum Trophy for Rebirth? Because that one is no joke. Waleed is now a game cat, specifically White Tiger says, hey, MBG, hope you get time to do a Madison VR stream. Yeah, I haven't played PSVR in a little while. I won't lie, like I guess it is my interest. I don't think there's any way around it. My interest in PSVR 2 it just has taken a back seat, honestly, like to all these other games I'm playing and looking forward to. PlayStation Pete, you're saying you are going to be trying to get the platinum for Rebirth. Well, good luck, man. You have to let me know if you get that. But Madison is a game that maybe at some point would be worth trying out in VR. You guys have been recommending that game to me for a while, and I heard it's actually very terrifying. We'll see, though. We'll see. Josh with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. You're saying it also seems detrimental. So would they kill the Xbox Series X and S in 6 years or have to now develop for 3 different consoles? Sounds like a bad pickle. Yeah, that's a good point that I didn't really think about, Josh, because if Microsoft does kick off next gen with a next gen console in 2026, they are going to have to make a decision. Like, are we just moving on from the X and S, or is there now going to be 3 platforms to develop for? It's a good point. Shit, I don't know. I mean, I feel like my gut tells me that they'll still do cross-gen, but then that will call into question, like, what the point of buying this next Xbox is. Like, is there a point to it? I think Microsoft, they're going to go one of 2 ways with the next generation Xbox. And it's either we're all in and we're going to try one last time with a proper generation, or it's going to be, this is just a better Xbox that if you want it, it's there. It's not going to really have exclusives. It's just there. It's just new hardware. It's going to be one or the other. And, it's kind of weird because it's like we're talking about the PS5 Pro and people don't, people are like, oh, well, the upgrade doesn't feel that substantial. Is it going to be worth it? But we know that Sony is absolutely going to approach the PlayStation 6 as like, this is next gen. Like, it's not going to be some kind of blurring of the lines where it's like, what is the difference between the PS5 Pro and the PlayStation 6? Like, we should be able to see that very clearly. At least, that's Sony's goal. With Microsoft, they could take the opposite approach, kind of like you're saying here, where, if Microsoft just treats it as like, it's just a new, much better Xbox, if you want it, then if that's what they do, then Sony has nothing to fear at all, because that's just like, yeah, no one's going to really, I'm not saying no one's going to care, but it's like, that's not going to, I don't think that's going to have any impact on the PlayStation 6 whatsoever. ACM, member for 8 months, says, God bless Texas. Well, thank you for that, ACM. And thank you for being a member for 8 months, man. We have PlayStation Pete saying, would love a Bruce Lee action fighting game. I would love that, yeah. We were talking about Bruce Lee in the members lounge recently, and it would be cool to get like a dedicated like next gen or current gen like Bruce Lee action game. I agree, that would be sick. Maybe one day. PlayStation Pete. Maybe one day. And you're saying Mark Cerny is going to have Digital Foundry eating their words that PS5 can't do 60 FPS? I mean, that could happen. I don't want to defend the PS5 Pro too much just because I don't want to have unrealistic expectations. Like, I would prefer to have, more tame expectations and just let Sony and Mark Cerny, like, wow me if that's what they're planning on doing, rather than assume they're going to wow me and then maybe they don't or something. But I have no doubt that first-party games from Sony are going to look insane on the PS5 Pro. No doubt about that. Rashdam V2 with the super chat says, it's happened before. The Wii U came out in 2012 and flopped. Then the Switch came out 5 years later in 2017, and it's one of the best selling. It can work. Yeah, that's true, but I will also say, Rashdam, that the big difference here, though, is that I think one of the biggest reasons why the Switch, or it launching at a kind of awkward time frame in 2017 is because it kind of, well, you know what? Hold on. This does actually bring up the rumor, if you guys remember. Wasn't that long ago, actually. The rumor was that apparently Microsoft is experimenting with like a kind of hybrid model console here, similar to the Switch, where, there's going to be like, it almost sounds like Xbox might be trying to make their own version of the Switch, essentially. And if that is actually what they're planning on doing, then it makes complete sense by that point why they would be totally okay being like, yeah, we're just going to go in 2026. Because at that point, I mean, it would be safe to say that the PlayStation 6 is not going to be a hybrid console. It's just going to be a proper next-gen console. How weird would that be? How weird would it be if we saw both Nintendo and Microsoft having hybrid consoles, and then Sony's out here with like a fucking ultra insanely powerful like PlayStation 6? That'd be fascinating. That'd be a fascinating outcome. But yeah, you're right, Rashdam. Like, Nintendo made it work, and I do think one of the reasons they were able to make it work is simply due to the fact that it was a hybrid console, and they made it clear like this is not necessarily trying to compete with the PS4 or the Xbox One. So we'll see. We'll see what Microsoft does there. But yeah, when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro, I guess at this point, really, all I feel like I can say at this point is it is a wait and see situation. I am not disappointed by the specs that leaked out. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed to hear, truthfully, like that GTA 6 might not run at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro. The reason why I'm not disappointed is because I did not expect, like, I was never expecting GTA 6. I'm still not expecting GTA 6 to be a 60 FPS game. If it is, that would be amazing. I would be like, wow, holy shit, Rockstar. You did it. You did it. But I'm expecting GTA 6 to be a game that is pushing the absolute limit of these consoles to a point where it's like, yeah, dude, we can't really go beyond this point because we have so many different things going on under the hood. And again, like that's not to make it sound like that'll be a problem, because I'll be honest, like GTA 6 is probably one of the only games where it's like, if they're like, yeah, we could only get it running at 30 frames, that's one of the only games where it's like, all right, that's probably fine. Like, I get it, maybe next gen with the GTA 6 remaster or whatever, we'll get 60 FPS. But if they can do it, saying you guys keep forgetting about console parity. Yeah, that's true too. GTA 6 is going to have to run on the Series S. So We'll see. I'm just trying my best to keep my expectations in check. And here's what I guess here's what I expect from the PS5 Pro, right? When Sony comes out, let's say September of this year, PS5 Pro event, I expect to hear a little bit from Mark Cerny. Here's the console. Here are the upgrades. Here's why we, you know, implemented these upgrades. Here's the PSSR technology. And here's some games. Here's some games running on the PS5 Pro. This is what they look like. And my honest to God expectation is those games will look good enough to make me go, damn, I definitely want to buy that. And that's it. Like, that's all it comes down to. But that's just me. You know, I can also understand why a lot of people, if there isn't a major selling point for the PS5 Pro, like all games will be 60 FPS, right? I can understand why people are like, I'll just stick with my base PS5 or I'll just stay where I am, because it's not going to be a cheap console either. You know, it's probably going to be $600. And while that is, I think, still in the realm of affordable, it's still also expensive. It's not like, ridiculous, but I can understand why a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm just going to save that money, or I'll just wait till PlayStation 6. And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with waiting for the PlayStation 6. Sony is well aware that the majority of people playing on their PlayStation consoles, most people are going to be playing on the base PS5. Sony is well aware that this Pro model is not going to appeal to the majority. It's going to appeal to a much smaller demographic. So, I guess keeping all of this in mind, maybe the reactions that we're seeing are not necessarily all that surprising. Maybe the idea of the PS5 Pro being divisive is not really that surprising. All right. So I think that's all I really want to say about the PS5 Pro. I'm not really sure how much more we're going to talk about the PS5 Pro going forward. I mean, I guess it depends on what we learn about it. I mean, I'm assuming we just learned like the bulk of it, you know? I think like at this point going forward, it's mostly just going to be people kind of speculating and guessing and assuming like what the PS5 Pro is going to do, but we'll see if there's like some kind of like another substantial leak or something. Maybe we'll cover that, but for now we'll leave it where it is for now until Sony decides to actually talk a little bit more about it. All right, so what I want to do now is maybe I can bring this up too. Let me see if I can change the background video here to something else. So this is from this is some gameplay from PlayStation Access, I think. Rise of the Ronin. Let's talk a little bit about Rise of the Ronin. What's going on with this game? Well, the reviews came out today. If I head over to Metacritic, 94 total reviews, sitting at a 76 on Metacritic. What do you guys think of that? 62 of the reviews, 66% of the reviews are positive, 33% are mixed. No negative reviews. Not great. Space Gambler saying ouch. Jay Shocker saying that's not good. Mid. So it's exactly what I was expecting. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was sometime last week. I was saying that I'm thinking Rise of the Ronin is going to be anywhere between like 73 and 78 or something like that. And yeah, I'm not surprised that it's sitting at a 76. It's exactly what I was expecting. I am questioning if how much I'm going to enjoy it though, you know? It's weird cuz like I saw this video come out from a YouTube reviewer that was like, sadly, I cannot recommend Rise of the Ronin. And the top comment was somebody being like, but dude, you recommended Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's like, sorry, man. Like, I don't know if I can really listen to you here. And you know, it just goes to show the nature of this type of stuff, you know? Different strokes for different folks. All right, so let me go check the reviews here. Ironically, the highest, maybe unsurprisingly, the highest review is a 95 out of 100 from PlayStation Universe. Not a great look. CG Magazine gives it a 9 out of 10. Screen Rant, 9 out of 10. Twin Infinite, 9 out of 10. IGN Spain, a 9 out of 10. I don't know most of these outlets, man. Let me go check the lowest review. A lot of 7 out of 10s. The lowest review comes from Variety, because that's where I go for my video game reviews. 5 out of 10. Rise of the Ronin is a much better game in theory than it is in practice. 5 out of 10 is the lowest score I've seen. Is it, I don't know. I mean, does it look like a 5 out of 10 to you? I don't know. 5 out of 10 seems maybe a bit harsh, but it's just one person's opinion. 6 out of 10 is VG 24/7, 6 out of 10. Gaming Bolt, 6 out of 10. VGC, 6 out of 10. Push Square, PlayStation website, 6 out of 10. Comicbook.com is 6 out of 10. Game Informer, 7 out of 10. Games Radar Plus, 7 out of 10. GameSpot, 7 out of 10. IGN, 7 out of 10. So, yeah, it seems like it's pretty mid, honestly. Like, it's a kind of middle of the road type of game where it's like some people are going to like it more than others. See, here's where shit gets worrisome to me, though. Check this out. Koei Tecmo hopes to sell 5 million copies of Rise of the Ronin. Sony and Team Ninja's Rise of the Ronin launches on PS5 exclusive on Friday. Team Ninja's parent company, Koei Tecmo, has some big aspirations for the upcoming game, with a target of 5 million copies sold. They expressed this goal in a recent post explaining the company's short and long-term goals and strategies. It lists a 5 million package game new IP under the heading Priority Goals. The statement doesn't mention Rise of the Ronin, but its upcoming game, it being new IP, it fits the description to a T. So it says here, the studio's previous game, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, sold around 1 million units as of April 2023. Neo sold about 2.5 million. The Ninja Gaiden series, 6.8. Oh, they're insane, dude. This game's not selling 5 million. What's up with those expectations, dude? Like, their last game was a multi-plat title and is like only sold maybe a couple million. They're not selling 5 million, dude. Why do they have those? Like, what's up with those expectations? Like, does Rise of the Ronin look like a 5 million seller? Am I scared to show my face now? No. I honestly, I could probably be on camera right now and it would be fine, but it's just more of the swelling. It's not necessarily fear. It's just more like maybe not the most pleasant view right now. Although when I am back on camera, you will see a tooth missing. I wonder how noticeable that's going to be. Hopefully I can get it replaced at some point though. But yeah, that tooth was a bitch. Shit got infected real bad. Yeah, I would say, dude, their expectations for Rise of the Ronin should be like if they can sell 2 million copies, I would say that's a success for them. What happened? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I keep forgetting that some people were not here in the beginning. I had to get a oral surgery recently, like just a couple days ago. I had two broken teeth removed and two wisdom teeth removed. Did I fall? No. No, the tooth is one of my canines, so pretty big tooth. A long time ago it like chipped. I don't know how, it just did. And it was fine for many years, but recently it got like severely infected. And they were like, "Yeah, we're just going to have to take that sucker out." I'm like, "Okay. Well, this sucks." But man, I was in so much pain. But yeah, not fun. Not good times. Thank you. Thank you for the well wishes. I'm feeling okay. It's just, anybody I guess anybody who's been through this, you probably know it just takes a little bit to fully recover. The drug, dude, I will say the very next day after the surgery, like I did not realize how much my body was running on the drugs and the adrenaline. Like it was so weird. The next day I woke up and it was like nothing happened, dude. I was like, I feel great. I feel fine. Everything's great. And I was not on like heavy painkillers. It was just, I guess, whatever they gave me during the actual surgery. And it wasn't until like another 24 hours that I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Oh, shit. Okay. Now I'm starting to feel it. Yeah. Yeah. But, but yeah, back to Rise of the Ronin, man. I hope the game does well. I just like my fear is that because it's like, look, Rise of the Ronin's coming out at the same time that Dragon's Dogma 2 is already bad. It's exclusive, so that's going to work against it, I think, sales wise. It is not reviewing that great. I think that's going to work against it. And Dragon's Dogma 2 is reviewing significantly better. So it's like, oh, shit, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about it. But I'm going to play it myself. I still have my copy coming tomorrow. And I'll let you guys know. Like, if I don't like it, I'll let you guys know for sure. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 seems like it's going to be a game of the year contender for sure. It's not 90 plus. I thought, yeah, I think Dragon's Dogma 2, it was at like a 92 at one point, but I think it's at like an 87 now. You like Rise of the Ronin combat more than Dragon's Dogma 2? Fabrice Paul, I'm sorry, man. My apologies. I totally missed your super chat. That's my bad. I'm trying to still get used to this format here. Fabrice, you're saying there is a new president at Xbox at last year. Rumors about Xbox in 2026 don't make sense because another rumor says the opposite and things can change. Yeah, I mean that's that's true, right? Like these are just rumors about like, oh, the next gen Xbox and this is when next gen's starting. But we don't know. Like anything could change at any time. And if they decide, you know what, we are going to take on the PlayStation 6 and we're going to delay our next gen box by another year or something or 2 years to then they would do that. But I think there's a lot we don't know about the future of Xbox in the same way that there's a lot we don't know about the future of PlayStation, but I think Xbox has kind of proven that like yeah, we will make like abrupt changes and decisions if we need to. And we're seeing that. And so, yeah, I'm not like sitting here banking on like, oh, yeah, the next gen Xbox is going to be 2026 because who knows? It fucking might be 2028, you know? So I agree, Fabrice. I agree. Might match a PS5 Pro. You would hope. You would hope if it comes 2 years after the PS5 Pro would be better, right? Again, they did say it's going to be the biggest technical leap ever, so I haven't been reading or watching any of the reviews of Rise of the Ronin. I don't know if you guys have been, but I've been just completely avoiding um everything because I don't know. I'm just the only thing I haven't been avoiding is what's on screen right now, obviously, but also just the Metacritic score. But I already just made the decision. Like I'm just gonna play it myself and judge it for myself. Um, I don't want to let reviews get in the way. I'm not. I don't know if I'm feeling as excited for Rise of the Ronin as I was when it was first revealed. Like I think maybe my excitement has dropped a little bit, but not massively. You've seen a lot of them, Mr. B. Some are disingenuous and some seem objectively mixed. Yeah, to me it's just one of these games where I'm gonna have to get in there myself and play it for myself to know. Because I mean I haven't been all right. I haven't been avoiding literally everything. Like we did talk about the previews and whatnot, and I did read a couple of the previews. And the big thing for me that I'm curious about is the combat, where you know there's a lot of parrying involved and whatnot. So I'll be curious to see like for me, that's going to be hit or miss. I'm either going to love that and I'm going to get a feel for it, or I'm not. Not going to lie, MBG, this footage you're showing, the game's not good visually. No, no. In fact, I think some of the low reviews are due to the technical side, the performance side. Open world Neo is what I've been waiting for in Rise. Apparently, it does play differently than Neo. Have I played any other Team Ninja games? No, not really. So maybe that'll be good for me, or maybe not. I mean, I heard Neo's gameplay is really good. I don't know about Wolong. I mean, the footage I'm seeing right now, it looks pretty good. But it's still like I don't know. It looks good, but there's also that part of me that's like, but I could hate it as well. Yeah, that's what that's I think why I didn't get into Neo. It did seem really hardcore. You think Team Ninja lost their touch after Neo 2? Interesting. Yeah, it seems to me like some of the people who previewed this game, one of the things they didn't like is they felt like it was like Team Ninja was trying to oversimplify their game a bit. Just let you know if it's worth buying. I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I hope it's not disappointing, man, because like I'm paying for the game, and if I like try to play it and it's like, dude, I don't like this at all, I will return it. I don't want that to be the case. Obviously, like I want to really enjoy the game. I've been hyped for this game for a while, so I would have to like in order for me to feel like, man, this game, I don't even want to play it. It would have to be pretty disappointing, truthfully. But I'm also choosing this game over Dragon's Dogma 2, and that would be even more disappointing is if you know, if I end up not liking this, I'll be like, damn, I gotta now I gotta return it, and I am buying the game physically. So, but I don't mean to make it sound like I'm not excited for it. I'm probably being a little overly negative right now, or at least that's how I sound. You have to forgive me. I'm not feeling 100%. So because of that, my attitude naturally is just kind of downshifted a bit. Hold on one sec, guys. You've been waiting 12 years for Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm totally hyped. Yeah, that's another thing about Dragon's Dogma 2 is that people have been really eagerly anticipating this game for a long time. Do I sound doom and gloom today? I don't know. I guess it's weird because I guess like from my perspective, I don't. What is this? Hold on. Sony Interactive Entertainment invests in the Brazilian community. This is a new PlayStation blog post. Here at Sony Interactive Entertainment, we are grateful for the support that our Brazilian community has given to the PlayStation brand and our products. We are excited to share news that from now on, physical PlayStation 5 discs, our exclusive and third-party games, will be produced in Brazil. Sony Interactive Entertainment worked hand in hand with longtime partner Solutions to Go, a well-known multinational entertainment, electronics, and accessory company, to create a state-of-the-art facility in the menus free. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Free trade zone to produce games on discs that will be distributed nationally and exported to all Latin American countries. The Solutions to Go installation already produces physical media for PlayStation consoles up to 66 gigabytes, but will now also support games up to 100 gigabytes for PS5, including God of War Ragnarok. To ensure maximum efficiency in the production process, a team of experts from Sony Interactive Japan spent weeks at Brazil working on the installation, programming, and training local staff. The initiative reinforces the commitment to Brazil and the Brazilian community. Okay. All right. Well, you love to see it. Sony, yeah, that's a W. Sony going above and beyond to produce physical games for Brazil. Hopefully that's a good sign, right? They keep that energy globally. Physical games. Good shit. I just kind of saw that pop up. Perfect Image, thank you for the super chat, buddy. You're saying that's because Brazil has very high custom duties and taxes. Okay. Well, good for them. It's a cool thing for Sony to do. Perfect Image, you're saying it's possible Dragon's Dogma is richer and you fight giants. Rise of the Ronin is based on the history about Japan. People may not like that. Yeah, I will say that is the biggest difference I would say between, well, one of the biggest differences between Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma 2 is Dragon's Dogma 2 is like high fantasy. You know, I was watching some gameplay of that, and it's like I'm seeing people fighting like trolls and griffins and shit, and it looks pretty awesome. And yeah, if you look at Rise of the Ronin, like it's very much grounded in reality. Like there's no fantasy part of it. There's no fantastical side to it, and you might be right. Like some people might not like that about it. I mean, I think Neo had some like fantasy aspects to it, right? Leaning into like kind of the like demons and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see. Perfect Image. You need Sekiro too. I don't think that's ever going to happen. All right, guys. Moving on to the next topic. Got some good news for Metal Gear Solid. All right, we have a couple of things here. First off, Konami recently released a 20-minute Metal Gear production hotline with updates in the series. And it does have some interesting, albeit small announcements. However, another video presentation is coming soon with bigger announcements for the series. This is per leaker Dust Golem on Reset Era. For now, Konami says that new titles and additional remakes could be considered based on player feedback. It also acknowledged the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, noting that its titles and release date have not yet been decided, so fans must wait a little longer. Volume 1 is still... Hold on. Come on, boss. Even though you guys can't see it, he is still fucking in the way, bro. Get out of here. Come on. Now I can do what I want because nobody can see what's happening. I'm just kidding. I'm doing the same thing that I would normally do. Shoo, boss. Down, boy. But check this out. David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, he teased that over on Twitter. He said, "Please don't tell anyone, but I played the opening of Metal Gear Solid Delta up to the bridge scene the other day. It was spectacular." And they showed the start screen for Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. And yeah, dude, this is pretty exciting because it seems that Konami is starting to really ramp up the marketing of Metal Gear. And he's saying, "Tell him we said hi." Boss, everybody says hi. Dude, he's looking at me like, huh? Snacks? What are you saying over there? But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see what this presentation is going to be. Let me see if I can change the video here again. See if I can bring up Metal Gear. Do I have anything Metal Gear here? Here we go. That worked pretty well. But it sounds like we're going to be getting basically like, I guess, Konami's version of like a state of play, but like for Metal Gear. And MGS 3 is going to be or the remake is going to be part of that. And I'm super excited for it, man. Like I guess I just haven't really been focused on it because Konami hasn't really been talking about it much, but it seems like they are starting to ramp up, generally speaking, the marketing for Metal Gear. They're going to start talking about it a little bit more, and not just the remake, but the Master Collection Volume 2. I heard that they're going to be bringing 4K support to the Master Collection Volume 1, and if they do, I will probably buy that because that, to me, was like the biggest sin that game committed, where it's like, how could you not be in 4K? Josh with another super chat here says, MBG, I could be wrong, but I doubt there's going to be a PS5 Pro event. It will most likely be revealed at a showcase or state of play like the PS4 Pro. Yeah, that's true, Josh. I guess when I said PS5 Pro event, maybe I was being a bit too specific. I do think that this could be a 2 showcase year. You know, I think this could be a year where we get a showcase in May or June, and it's just focused on the games. And then we get a second showcase in maybe September, where that's where they'll properly reveal the PS5 Pro, but also give us more game announcements or updates. That's kind of my assumption. I don't think they'll label it like a PS5 Pro event, but maybe they'll just kind of tease that, you know, there will be a hardware announcement of some kind. I could see Sony doing it that way. Because yeah, I think it would actually be kind of like a mistake on Sony's part to be like, here's a dedicated PS5 Pro event, because that I think would lead to expectations being way too high, you know, like way too high and unrealistic. Whereas if they just kind of subtly say like, yeah, we might have some new hardware to reveal during this upcoming PlayStation showcase, so be sure to tune in, just kind of, you know, throw it in there. We'll see. I mean, Sony is clearly in the, you know, they're clearly getting everything kind of prepped we're almost towards the end of March now, so we got some time. But yeah, man, I really hope that we do get not only our first look at gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, but I want a release date. You know, like I want to know: am I going to be playing this game this summer? Am I going to be playing it this fall? The end of the year? Is it a 2025 game? Maybe Master Collection 2 Shadow Drop. Shit, man, I doubt it. A Shadow Drop would be too good. I think it's interesting that they're like, yeah, we haven't decided which games to put in there yet. Like, please, God, Metal Gear Solid 4 has to be in there. It has to be in there, man. It'd be like the biggest mistake ever if they didn't put MGS4 in there. If they chose not to put MGS4 in the Volume 2 collection, that would be I think people would lose it. And then we still don't know what's going on with Silent Hill. It seems like we're going to be getting a release date for Silent Hill any fucking day now. I feel like we were supposed to get a release date for Silent Hill like a while ago, but we still haven't for some reason. Let's see here. Rockstar is confident GTA 6 will run at 60 FPS on the PS5. This was said by senior artist Hellion C from Rockstar in a forum reply that was later deleted in response to a fan's question on a gaming Chinese social media app. Boss, after GTA 6 is released, can the frame rate for a stable 60 FPS? Can the frame rate be a stable 60 FPS on PS5? The response says, I don't know, but we are very confident. I feel like that's kind of a oxymoron a little bit there. I don't know, but we are confident. It's like, okay. So basically, maybe. I saw that there was like an update for the PS5 today, or I don't know if it's out yet today, but they're like updating the UI again. And man, it just Sony, please just go back to the PlayStation 3 UI. What did they call it? The XMB, the cross media bar. Sony, just go back to that, man. Like it'll never get better than that. Whatever you try to do, it's not going to get better than that. I'm sorry to say. You like the PS4 UI better? Damn. The PS4 UI was pretty damn good. I liked it. I still think the PS3 was the best. Because, I mean, I think the PS3, it's like, yeah, it was a little bit clunky and slow, but I think that was just due to the hardware at the time. Like, imagine the PS3 XMB, like UI, but on the PS5, it'd be like super fast. So, yeah, with this new PS5 UI update, you can change your background, but only in like the home area. And that's it. And I don't even know if you can do it custom either. Folders. Oh yeah, true. They did that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's nostalgia or what, but I miss the PS3's UI. I think what I liked about it the most is it was simple, clean, and effective. You know, like, did it have a lot going on? Yeah, but it was like super organized. You know, like, here's the tab for your games. Here's the tab for any video content. Here's the tab for any music content. You know, here's the settings tab. It's just, here's the friends tab. And you just scroll left to right. It was very intuitive. I thought so. Titus Crow, you're saying you should have used the drawing I gave you. I'll send it to you. Yeah, dude, I meant to tell you, this is my bad, man. Like, I think you meant to send it to me, but nothing was actually sent. Like, I got your email, but there was no actual image that I got. And I thought I replied back to you. Maybe I didn't though, Titus. Like, there was no attachment. Oh God, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to stream though. I can feel the pain starting to come back in my mouth here. I think the pain meds are starting to wear off. Jonathan Sanchez, you're saying a bit random, but do you think Sony will come out with a new handheld? Well, first off, thank you for the super chat, Jonathan. And yes, I do. I think Sony is going to have a new handheld, and you know there was a rumor that apparently they're working on like a new dedicated handheld that's going to run PS4 games and some PS5 games. I think that's absolutely going to happen. It just makes too much sense. Sony would be crazy at this point in time to not, you know, to not have some kind of dedicated handheld. I think there's too many people that would be willing to buy it and be excited for it. And considering the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming, it's going to be successful. You know, the ROG Allies out there, the Steam Deck, you could play PS4 games and PS5 games literally on the Steam Deck. You know, it's like, yeah, Sony has to make a new dedicated handheld. But when it will come out, I don't know. I'm going to say probably closer towards the end of this generation. Yeah, Titus, I know. I think that's why I'm going to have to end this soon. I don't want to deal with that shit. What kind of pain meds am I taking? Right now, just ibuprofen. It's enough, though. It's enough. But yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing is I can't really talk very much. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I should have expected that, but I like can't talk for very long without the pain starting up. And I think I just had the wrong impression, man. Like, I thought it was just going to be 1 or 2 days at most, and I'll be totally fine and back to it. But it's like, no, dude. Yeah, no, I won't take anything heavy. Like, no Percocets or anything. Well, they didn't prescribe anything like that for me, but I don't think I would want to take it. I don't like the way that shit makes me feel. Like, I rarely have ever taken anything like that, but I do not like that feeling, to be honest. But I guess maybe in some cases, if you're in enough pain, you'll do anything to get out of the pain. Saying man up. Dude, trust me, I'm barely holding on right now, bro. But boss, bro, come on. All right, who wants to do it? Come on, guys. You got to help me out here. We got to get to 25 members. Somebody pull through. Somebody get us to 25 members so I can hit the goal. I could go rest it. I could show you my little surprise. I'm not going to be able to show it to you. Chill, boss. Chill. Let boss stream. Dude, that'd be so funny. I mean, I would, but he won't stay still. You know? Boss won't stay still. He's all over the fucking place. Corey's doing it. He knows I'm desperate. Corey, thank you so much, man. Who's going to follow Corey up, man? Corey dropped 20 gifts in total. Boss is chewing the mic. I don't know if you can hear that. Corey, thank you so much, man. Jesus, boss. You're going to break that shit. Corey dropped the 10 bomb. He brought us to 21, guys. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? He did it. Hellbound's here. God, I can't really smile. It hurts to smile. What kind of hell is this? I'm not even allowed to be happy. You'll have to just believe me when I say I'm happy. You've brought joy. All right, here we go. This is going to be great. Hold on. Hellbound did it. It's very fitting that Hellbound did it. You guys ready? Make sure you turn the volume up a little bit. All right. It's going to be short. It's going to be short, but turn the volume up a little bit. I got to get this out first. So Corey dropped 10, Hellbound dropped 5. We're at 26. Let me throw that up. I'm sorry for the spam. Maybe I should have told you not to. All right, here we go. I worked on this. I really hope it doesn't disappoint. I'm sorry if it does, but I thought it would be something you guys would be excited about. I'm just giving Boss his snacks. He's guys, can you hear me okay? What was happening? I think me playing Boss meowing broke it. Like broke my mic. It should be good now. I had to unplug it and plug it back in. There was a clicking sound. Okay. Yeah. It seemed to happen after I played that clip. But that's a thank you for you guys. Thank you for Corey. Thanks for dropping the memberships and Hellbound, Jake Skew. Thank you guys for helping us hit the goal today. But I figured, Boss isn't going to be on camera on stream, and I know he's the star of the show. So maybe that's the next best thing. But I got to ask you guys, when I told you previously that you weren't going to believe how baby his meow is, what do you think? It's pretty baby, right? It's pretty baby meow. To be fair, though, that specific meow that he does, that's the lowest meow. Like that's the most baby meow he does. He does that when he is feeling like, honestly, a little bit. I don't know. He's not annoyed. But it's like if he's just chilling on his own and you approach him, he'll make that sound if he feels like you're gonna make him like move or have to go somewhere, and he just doesn't want to move. I like to think he's just saying thanks, though. I'll play it one more time, and I'm gonna play it one more time though, just to experiment to see if it breaks my microphone. Did it break my microphone? Or are we good? I think we're good. I'll see if in the future if I can get another meow from him. The other type of meow that he does is sometimes in the morning. When he's like hungry. And he'll only do it like once or twice, but it's a more like assertive meow. More whiny. Not whiny. I guess assertive would be the. I'm trying to keep, try to maintain boss's masculinity here. More assertive. But there you go. There you go. But guys, yeah, I'm my my mouth is really starting to hurt, so I have no choice but to end the stream now. I really thought I'd be able to stream longer today, but this is about as far as I can go, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was very different. I know it was maybe very jarring, but again, it's just temporary for now. And I don't know when I'll be able to stream again. Like, maybe I can tomorrow. I don't know. Just be on the lookout, all right? At some point, maybe I'll try to make a video or something. Just be on the lookout for content. Be on the lookout if I'm going to put out a stream or a video. And yeah, also want to give a shout out to Devil Shooter for doing the timestamps. And Titus Crow comes in and says, "Get out of here." Thank you, Titus. Thank you. And thank you for all the well wishes, guys. Appreciate you showing up and still showing such great support, even under such strange circumstances. But all right, guys, that does it. Shout out to Devil Shooter. I will catch you in the next one. And Boss also thanks you for his treats. So until the next time, guys.